Hello and welcome back, everyone. If you ended up watching my video last night, I ended up giving you guys the best levels to be hitting. So what did we end up doing today inside GWC? It was very, very simple. 3 trades ended up taking today. The first 2 trades we ended up getting into was the support that I told you about in last night's video. I ended up getting 637 calls, not once, but twice. Did not stop there. I ended up shorting 637.50 approximately on these 2 candles right here. I did not hold for this whole move, guys. As soon as we ended up breaking under PCP, that was it. That's all I needed. Why did I end up taking those puts? So if you look back to what we spoke in last night's video, look at all the resistance from this level, right? When something cannot break up, it's going to break down, and I was able to identify that selling my calls 2 times today. So look at the floor that we had. Look at the support. We cracked support. We tried to bounce immediately. Once we had a 5-minute wick, which I told you in last night's video, at PCP 637.10, it was going to be free money puts. The entire Discord knew this. I made it very clear in our pre-market live stream. And just look at, if you hit 0 trades today and just waited for our 5-minute rejection of PCP, you made the biggest bag ever. So what are we looking at moving forward into tomorrow? So it's very, very simple. SPY ended up closing. I'm going to change PCP to just under 637. So it was 636.97, 94, sorry. Good. Okay, so we got PCP there. It's pretty much the same close as when you ended up closing prior. So big level again. You need to be paying very, very close attention to 637.34. This is the biggest psychological level that we have right now because it was a massive resistance. We tried to hold its support today, ended up failing. So as of right now, it is still a big resistance. Now, let's take a look at the daily time frame. Right? The daily time frame right now, it's not the most bearish setup in the world by any means, but it's still a red candle, and red candles mean the bears are still in control as of right now. So I'm going to be watching last week's highs and last week's lows. This is how I like to start my week out, okay? I want you to be putting at last week's at the high, and last week's at the low, and last week's at the close and the open. Just so we have some ranges, because we're still in the upper range of where we're currently trading at. So I'm going to be paying very close attention to that. Now, if you look at this chart, we had a deep sell-off, right? We're immediately starting to bounce. So what are the levels down beneath of us if bears end up taking control, right? You got to be watching the VIX. The VIX was about to break out. I was calling it this morning. The VIX, I was still bullish because I'm not using indicators. I'm trading what I see. The VIX looked like it was about to break out, so I was very, very cautious with my calls, and I was also selling the move for my calls, and that's another reason why I ended up hitting the puts, okay? So VIX is about to break out. It looks like it's about to break out, so how do we know if we're going to start seeing some downside potential? Very, very simple. We're going to be waiting for 636. 636 is going to be the biggest psychological level to be watching, right? Because if we end up losing this, it's going to be an empty drop all the way to 635 and 634.80, okay? And then obviously if we end up having making this into a resistance, we're going to drop all the way to the 633s to potentially 632. As of right now, we're pretty much flat from Friday, right? So I'm going to be playing the same game plan. If I start to see a support form over 637.34, I'm going to hit calls again. Why not, right? And if I end up seeing a resistance either at PCP or if we end up opening bearish around the 636 or under, I'm going to be looking to get calls around 634.80, right? This is going to be the best level for calls in my opinion. For puts, what am I going to be watching at? Simple, right? 637.50 is going to be a massive, massive sell-off, and if not, 638. But I have a feeling if we get back up to 638, we're going to start flying. So we'll see where the market opens tomorrow, guys. We do our pre-market live stream inside GWC 1 hour before market open. If you'd like to join us, the link will be in the bio. Remember, you guys got to bet on yourself, okay? Bet on yourself. Always have an entry, always have an exit, regardless of what trade you are entering. Have a strategy, have a plan for every trade you get into. My name's Steven. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see everyone in tonight's video. Take care.